A lot of people see the Walt Disney Company as a capitalist juggernaut that rules over the entertainment industry with an iron fist, worried that one day they will monopolize the film industry. Because some of their most recent moves, acquiring studios such as Fox, Lucasfilm, and Marvel, you can see why the fear is prevalent. People do forget that Disney is also a pioneer in cinema, creating some of the most soulful, innovative films to ever hit the big screen. So in this series, I'll be reviewing and analyzing every Disney animated movie and what contributions they have on filmmaking and the world as a whole. So today we'll be analyzing Disney's first animated classic, Snow White and the Seven Dwarves. Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs is simply a miracle of a movie. Around the time of release, several people told Walt Disney that it would waste money to spend $1.5 million to make this project and no one would sit through a cartoon that was 70 minutes long. If this gives you context, in 1937, $1.5 million is equivalent to about $20 million today. While $20 million isn't a whole lot of money for a film budget, for 1937 this was considered a huge risk. It paid off. The film made an estimated $8 million in its original run, which adjusted for inflation today is $164 million. This profit was certainly one of the first things that planted the seeds for Disney to become the juggernaut it is today. The United States Library of Congress deemed the film culturally, historically, or aesthetically significant, and selected it as one of the first 25 films for preservation in the National Film Registry. The American Film Institute ranked it among the 100 greatest films of all time. Sir Journey Einstein, considered by many film historians at the time as the greatest living filmmaker for making Battleship Potemkin, claimed that Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs was better than any film he had ever made. He claimed it was the best movie he had ever seen. While the film would go on not to get nominated for Best Picture due to the Academy's biased judgment towards animated films at the time, Walt would receive a special achievement for the film, though all records indicate he was still upset his film was not considered for the Academy Awards at the time. The question is, sure, Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs is acclaimed, but is it one of the best movies ever made, like several have claimed it to be? Does it hold up? I would say so. Snow White, by today's standards, isn't the deepest film ever made. It follows your typical princess formula, but it was actually the first to create this narrative, making it pretty innovative for the time. The animation holds up to this day. To think this is a film coming out in 1937 is astonishing. Just judge it by stuff that's still coming out on TV today. It just wipes the floor with it. Especially the fact that all these shots had to be hand-drawn by people. The songs are wonderful and memorable as well. There's still a reason why they're playing in the parks to this day, and people still hum along. And the evil queen is still just as scary. The imagery in this film has plenty of nightmare fuel. Stephen King always said that Disney could do scary better than anyone, and this film proved early the dark edge that unfortunately lacks in some of the more recent works. It's a triumph of a film, and its importance to the advancement of cinema cannot be overstated. But unlike some of the film school movies you'll have be forced to watch, kind of like Battleship Potemkin, which in my opinion is kind of a slog to get through, apologies, it's not a chore to watch this cinematic landmark. It has a simple, albeit compelling story with wonderful characters to root for. They spoke to generations. The film starts the beginning of Disney's filmography that would last 100 more years. A lot of people say it was all started by a mouse, which it certainly was. But it was all kind of started by Snow White, which is why we'll appreciate it as one of the greatest films in Disney's canons to this day.